Okay, all. I hope you can hear me. I was having some technical difficulties. This is a new live thing on YouTube, so I hope you all are there. And I hope that you can hear me now. And welcome to Surrounded by Wellness. We are going to start. I hope that I didn't lose everyone in the process of trying to get this back up. If you can hear me, please say something in the chat area. You can just say it. Hopefully you can see that I just said hi. I hope you can see me. And I am going to turn this camera off right now. Hopefully all my people are there. And I am going to let us listen and reflect right now. So turning the camera off. And I hope you're still listening. I hope you're still there.
Never knew my life could be this way.
And as you're listening, I ask that you reflect and meditate on the words of the song. What do these words mean to you? They don't have to mean the same to you as they mean to me. This song, these words, are my testimony. Your testimony is different. We are all different. Just listen and patiently be in the presence of the song. Listen quietly and relax. This is a relaxed setting, sisters. No tension, no judgment. Just listen to the words.
You see, I was so hurt, never knew the pain would let me stand.
Take it all in. Some of us never thought the tears would go away.
Until I found you, Jesus.
Nope, I never thought I would be in this place.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yes, I am. I'm living my life. Oh,
Lord. What place are you in at this moment? Are you happy in your space? Are you afraid in your space? Are you comfortable in your space? Are you glad that you have gotten to the place that you've gotten to? Think and reflect on that. Never thought I'd be in this place. And I am back, and I sure hope you can hear me after that little glitch I had with Google Hangouts that is streaming me live onto YouTube. I can't see any of you. I don't see anybody putting any comments. So we're just going to go forward. And if you are not able to see me, you'll be able to view it on video for up to, I believe, 8 hours. And the video will actually be saved afterwards. Okay, so here we go. We've listened to the song This Place. We've reflected, we've meditated, and like I said, that is my testimony. It doesn't have to be yours, but that was just something to put you into a peaceful space as we go forward tonight at the launch of Surrounded by Wellness. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Surrounded by Wellness. Welcome to my little home. You're in my home with me. I'm glad that you have all tuned in. And let me just start with a brief introduction of myself. If you haven't watched my other 2 videos, my name is Tanisha. And by career, I am a school social worker. And I'm also a licensed social worker. And I've been doing both for 17 years now. So said that to say, that is my career, that is my profession. This, however, is simply a platform. This is not therapy. This is not me psychoanalyzing anyone. This is not me writing out prescriptions. If indeed you think you need that type of help, this is not the platform for it. However, you can inbox me on Facebook and I can give you in the right direction for that type of help. So we're going to move forward. Excuse me as I read on my notes. I have prepared for this. However, I do have notes in front of me. So again, bear with me. Also know that I will be referencing God on this platform. I will reference Jesus. I may use scripture. I may use prayer. That is because I am a Christian, wholeheartedly love Jesus, wholeheartedly love God. And had it not been for him, I wouldn't be in this place right now, here, speaking to all of you. That is not to say that anyone is excluded. Everyone, every woman is welcome to listen to me and to be blessed and to be transformed and to be released and to be set free. We are here to do the work together. I'm welcoming women of all ages, women of all backgrounds, cultures, religions, denominations, you name it, every woman. This is particularly a platform for women, for us to help each other to be strong and to be free. Hello out there to all of my brothers, though, who may be watching. If you're watching for yourselves, you are welcome. If you're sitting there with your daughters, your nieces, your wives, your moms, your cousins, whatever females you may be sitting with, help them do the work. Help them to be empowered. Help them to be strong. This is a platform for everyone. This is even a platform for me because I will also be able to release and be free of some of my stuff as I speak to you. I really hope you all hear me because I can't see anything but me on this screen. So, what is Surrounded by Wellness? I mentioned Surrounded by Wellness in my first video and in my second video, and I gave what the acronym was, but just in case you didn't get it in either of those, I'm going to briefly go through it again and explain what Surrounded by Wellness is and how it came to be. Surrounded by Wellness came to be just through my journey, and one day it just clicked that this is what I can do, and this is what I can do to empower women safely in the comfort of my own home. They can be in the comfort of their own home, and it was birthed literally in less than 2 months. So Surrounded by Wellness is the whole, if you will, of wellness. So everything that encompasses wellness, which is our minds, our body, and our spirit. And if one of those pieces isn't well, we're not well. So we need to make sure that all three pieces are aligned. So if our spirit is broken, then our mind is broken, and that causes some internal stuff in our body to also be broken. So Surrounded by Wellness is the whole. And wellness is an acronym. The W is for weathering, working, and winning. And we are going to begin that work today. And we're also going to begin winning today, sisters. And the E is always evolving and changing. We are always evolving. We are always changing. We started as babies, moved to toddlers, moved to children, moved to preteens, teenagers, young adults, middle age, and our seasoned citizens. So we're always changing. And in that evolving, we should be growing. We should be maturing and not staying stagnant. The L is for continuous learning. We're learning every day. I work in a school with elementary and middle school students, and sometimes I learn something from those students on a daily basis. We learn from one another. We learn from our coworkers, from our friends, from our parents, from our pastors. We learn everywhere we go, and even from strangers. We are learning constantly, and we should not want to stop. And the other L is for love. Love is wellness. We can't make it without love. We need to love each other. We need to uplift each other, my sisters. We need to hold each other accountable in love. And we need to just love. And nurturing self and others. Nurture is something that we women do naturally, but we don't always nurture ourselves. We're always nurturing everyone else. In order for us to successfully nurture others, we have to make sure ourself is nurtured, make sure ourself is well. E, empowering through transparency. How do we empower? I'm empowering you, hopefully, at the moment. I'm being empowered as I'm speaking to you. I'm trying my best to be wide open and transparent. And in that transparentness, if that's a word, people will be empowered. S, sharing the experience. Are we sharing the experience of the lunch we had yesterday? Are we sharing the experience of, oh, I can't get out my car, I'm stuck? No. Sharing the life experience, sharing your journey, sharing your story. And we'll get into tonight mostly about your story, sharing your story and being freed from anything that's holding you back. And the final S, surviving through faith and positive energy. Faith in God, faith in yourself, faith and trust in others, and no negative energy. Negative energy brings sickness. We want to be well. We want to surround ourselves with positive people. We want to surround ourselves with people who encourage and uplift. And when they hold us accountable, they do it back to love. And that is what surrounded by wellness and the wellness of it stands for. So now that I've reviewed the acronym and you're familiar with the platform, so to speak, this is a work in progress. We're going to journey with this together. I want to go to a place of being in this place. You heard the song In This Place. I played it for the reflection time. I told you that that's my testimony. So take yourself back to this place and just think for a moment, where are you in this place? Right now in my life, I happen to be in a good space, but I wasn't always in a good space, and I could always teeter and go back and forth. So right now, I'm in a good space. And I just happened to be listening to that song for the trillionth time a few days ago. And God said to me, Tanisha, tell your story. Tell your story. You have one. People who know me on the inside and the outside. My parents, who I hope are watching, some of my good sister friends know some of my story. And others think that I'm all good all the time. I used to deal with that as a kid, that nobody thought that I was dealing with anything. But I do have a story. It's not a story of strife or abuse or separation or poverty or all the negative so-called things that we can think of. No, it's not a story of that, but I definitely have a story. And I want you to understand that we all do and that we can overcome it. You can overcome your story. And my sister the other day, as I was talking to her about this place, and this place that I'm finally in, she said, yes, we can all overcome our story. And guess what, sisters? The story is still continuing. We are working through it and creating it at the same time. Isn't that amazing? What your past story is still here, is still a part of you, but you have a future story to continue to create. And your story does not end until the book closes. until you're no longer here, until God says it is finished. So with all of that said, and talking about stories and getting you to think and reflect about your place, I want to now go to a place of being transparent physically. We'll get to the inner soon enough, but I want to go to a place of being transparent out here. So right now, right here on this screen, I am going to take off my makeup right in front of you all. I'm going to wipe this lipstick off. And I don't know if you've seen this done on TV. I do watch Iyanla, and some people don't. Some people don't prescribe to her, but I do, I guess because of my background and because she's so real. I've seen her do this with people. I've seen her have them take off the face, take off the so-called mask. And what do you see? So this is me cleaning off what some would call the pretty face. And for those of you who really know me, you know most cases and most times I don't go out without my eyebrows on, and I'll just wipe them off and left my face bare. And if you happen to be in your room, in the bathroom, or near a mirror, and you want to go through this and look at yourself completely clean, wipe it off. Be transparent to yourself. I'm being transparent with you physically first. And now I need to put my glasses back on because I can't read without them. Another piece of my transparent. It's part of my age. And now that I have this off, I'm going to give you a line that I heard on the wonderful TV show, This Is Us. We are perfectly imperfect. Perfectly imperfect. Isn't that wonderful? I'm perfectly imperfect without that face on. I'm open. I'm here. I'm alive and well without that face on. To be transparent and give the message to you. So we all have that story, right? Yeah, we do. But we may not show it on our faces with the makeup on. We don't show it with our jewelry on. We're not showing it with our clothing on. We're not showing our story in most cases on the outside. The story that we haven't shared lives on the inside. It's deep in there. It's rooted. But it's something that needs to come out. It's something that needs to be released. What is your story, sisters? Think about that. Think about what your story means to you. Think about what it has done in your life. Has it pushed you forward? Has it held you back? Has it stopped you from progressing? Has it empowered you? Everyone's story has done something different for them. So what has your story done for you? For me, my story may have held me back. For some of us, the story pushes us forward, but sometimes in pushing us forward, we may push too hard because we're trying to prove something we're not. Because maybe our story wasn't so good in the past, and we're trying to prove it and say, I'm not part of that. I'm not part of that family. I'm not part of that cycle. So we may overcompensate in our pushing. And sometimes our stories grip us with fear and keep us hidden and keep us shy. Sometimes our stories hinder us, stop us, freeze us almost. But that's not the end, my sisters. The time is now to release whatever you're dealing with, whatever that story is. If it's a good story, share it. Uplift a sister. If you've gotten past part of your story, share with your sister how you've done it. Continue to reflect as I speak and think about what your story is and what your story may have done. And now I'm going to be a little bit more transparent after I've taken the makeup off. I'm going to give you just a little glimpse. Can't give it all to you because I don't know how long Surrounded by Wellness is going to last. Hopefully at least until next month. But I don't know how long it's going to last. So right now I'm just going to give you a glimpse of my story and who I am. So Tanisha was a very painfully shy, timid little girl who held onto her mother's leg. That's me. I held onto my mother's leg. I hid behind her. I cried when she left me for preschool. I cried when she left me for kindergarten. I hid when we went to family functions, all the way up till I could remember, until at least 7 years old, maybe older, because I was so shy. The social worker, the social worker, which is what I am now, the social worker called my mother and complained about me not talking. But I had a great teacher back then. Hope she sees this, Miss Lewis. I love you. She was my teacher in kindergarten and first grade, and she walked me through in spite of my shyness, in spite of my fear. So my shyness has probably held me back from a lot of things, but thanks be to God, it no longer is. It is still part of me, though. It is still part of my story. I've also been in a place of depression. Some of my good friends know that. It wasn't a depression where it kept me downtrodden forever, but I experienced what some may call situational depression. Situational depression comes when the so-called negative situations come. And I experienced what I thought to be negative situations back to back. So each time one came, I sank a little more and I sank a little more. So much so that some tiny little thing that someone may think to blow off, I internalized as something huge, and it caused me to sink a little more. And as a result of that, I'm not ashamed to say, I'm actually blessed to say that I went to therapy. Yep, I went to therapy. That's one of the ways I've moved forward. Therapy, because I was depressed. I had vowed in my own spirit, however, never to go back to that place again, because of my belief and my faith and trust in God, and because the tools that I have been given, I will no longer go back there. But some of you may be there. You may have gone there before. You may have repeated the pattern. You keep going back again. But you can get past it, but you have to do the work. Something Iyanla always says, we're going to do the work. I'm going to help you do your work. I've also been a person of a comparative spirit, if that makes any sense. In that time of depression, or as that depression was building, I was in a place of comparing myself to friends. They didn't know I was comparing myself, but I was comparing myself to them in my middle 20s, saying things like, oh, they're living on their own, I'm not. Or they have the better job, I don't. Or they went back to school and I stopped. I waited. They are about to get married, I'm not. They are about to have children, I'm not. And I compared and compared and compared until I sank myself into this low funk, if you will. Comparative spirits cause depression. They lead to depression. They're a common factor of depression. If you are one of those people who compare yourselves, look at yourself and compare yourself to you and make yourself better. You never know how people got to where they are. And you can encourage yourself and uplift yourself by thinking of the things that you do have and not the things that you don't. I've also been in a place of loneliness. How many out there experience loneliness and truly don't know what to do with it? Loneliness can be rough. and it can hurt and cause this deep agonizing pain. But loneliness also, if you focus on it like I did, can also bring that depression. I focused on loneliness. I focused on woe is me. I'm by myself. No one loves me. No one's with me. And that got me nowhere. It got me nowhere. Again, because I'm a Christian, I know that I'm never, ever alone. I may feel lonely sometimes, may not have that girl to call or that guy to call or even my parents to call if they're not available, but God is always with me. And I no longer focus on loneliness. When it happens, I let it happen briefly, and then we're done with it. We toss it back. Can't hold on to the feeling of loneliness because I will sink. And like I said, I refuse to go back there. And lastly, just of this little glimpse, I had a perfectionist trait, a perfectionist characteristic, a perfectionist personality. Am I perfect? Nope. Never going to get there, and neither are you. Perfectionist people are people who want to get things right the first time. And when we don't, oh my, when we don't, a lot of times we quit because we think we're not good enough. We didn't get it right, so it's not going to happen. Perfectionist people have limited patience with certain things, projects, or learning something new because we want to get it right away. And another testimony of mine is God showing me how imperfect I was at a job for 3 years. And I took the job again because of what I said before in talking about myself of being comparative or being behind and in the back and behind other people. Also experienced as a teenager, probably being a follower a little bit because I wanted to fit in. So the job was, oh, I could do the same thing other people are doing around me. Yeah, I could do this. God must want this for me. I was encouraged to do it, and I leaped and I did it. And when I got there, I was like, oh my goodness, what have I gotten myself into? I can't do this. This is too much. I've been set up. God, what did you do? And I wanted to run. Hindsight is 2020. I do know that God did lead me there, but not for what I thought. I was there for 3 years and I wanted to run the first year because of my perfectionist personality, because I couldn't get it. And also because of a place of wanting to be affirmed by others to let me know that I got it. And that didn't happen. I had to learn to be affirmed by God, and I had to learn to know that I am not perfect and I'm never going to be. So, I've given you a lot about me, about my insecurities, about my depression, about my shyness, about my loneliness. It's all part of who I am. It's part of my story. It's part of my journey, and I'm a work in progress. Have I overcome my story? No, I have not. I work on most of my stuff daily through prayer, through reflection, through conversation with positive people. I work on myself. I talk to myself. I listen and hear. I cleanse my spirit daily, and I'm continuing the journey. I want you to continue your journey, my sisters. I want you to release whatever is holding you back, be it depression, be it overeating, be it you are overweight and you're sick of it, be it you talk too much, be it you gossip too much. If that's part of your story, being that you may have had those deep-rooted stories where someone mishandled you inappropriately, ladies, where you were abused, where you had an abusive marriage, where you're a caretaker. If that is your story, I want you to tell it and release it and not let it hold you back any longer. That's the work we're going to do here on Surrounded by Wellness. We're going to start to release so that our stories don't hold us back, but they uplift us and they encourage someone else. That's our job. We are our sister's keeper. We are to encourage each other and pay it forward. That's what I hope I'm doing for you. I hope that my giving you part of my story will help you to begin to talk about it, begin to write about yours, um, and begin to help you to overcome some of the things that are holding you back. The good news is that you can overcome, you will overcome, and you will continue. That's the good news. Until the book is closed, you will continue. You will overcome. You will move forward. Are there any questions? I hope that there are. Unfortunately, because of the glitches that I'm having and because I cannot see what you're saying right now, I cannot see your comments. I hope that you are writing them. And if you don't, you can listen to this later and make comments and ask questions, and I will make notes of them and begin to respond to them in the next video. The next video hopefully probably won't be live. I'll just set up a video in a month, the first Sunday of November, where you can look at it as at your leisure. And if I see some comments that need to be addressed immediately, if I feel that I'm led to address them immediately, I will do a quick video in between. So please feel free, even though I can't see your questions or your comments right now, please feel free to comment and question and say what you think. And also remember to subscribe and like and share so that we can continue this journey together and continue with other women out there. Share it with your friends and your family. And we're going to move on now. So now that you may be typing some of your questions and putting out some of your thoughts, I want to know if every woman out there is ready to open their book and delve in. Not just look at it, not just think about it. Are you ready to open your book and delve into your story? I know I am, sisters. I am ready. I am on this journey. I am thanking God every day for this journey He has put me on and the people He has planted around me for this journey. And I am so humbled that I am even speaking to any of you right now. I can't believe I'm going to go back to this place. I cannot believe that I am here, but I am ready to journey with you and open my book and delve into my story. I'll be delving in right on here, right on this screen with all of you. So today, sisters, we begin the work. We begin opening up and flipping some pages and looking at who we really are. We begin the W of wellness. And on that note, I'm going to give you some homework. And not that I can check it. I can't see it. I can ask if you did it. You know if you did it. You know if you're ready. So your homework is to first ask yourself the question, what is my story? And with that question, I want you to start journaling. Take baby steps if you have to. If you've already done something like this, continue. Some people journal every day. Some people journal a few times a day. Some every week, some monthly. But begin to journal with the question, what is my story? And I only want you to start there. I don't want you to go any further. And as you begin to write, read it, reread it, reflect on it, meditate on it, pray over it, whatever your practice is, so that you can begin to release and share and be free. But that's all I want you to start with. What is my story? I don't want you to start talking about changing it, fixing it. Just what is it? You may not know what it is. You'd be surprised what happens when you start writing and putting things on paper. So, my sisters, this is the first of maybe many, maybe few videos that will come up on Surrounded by Wellness. Get ready for the next one that will be scheduled for November. It will be a video. It will not be live. We will not go through these glitches anymore. If I'm able to, not perfect, because I'm not perfect, but if I'm able to get it right, I may do live. We shall see. But at any rate, you will have a video on November 1st. I hope that I've helped you in some way. I hope that you've listened intently. I hope that you were blessed. I hope that my being transparent has begun to help you to do so. And sisters, let's just begin to be imperfect, perfectly imperfect. In your perfect imperfection, sisters, you are bold, strong, beautiful. Be confident in your imperfections because you're never going to obtain perfections. Be confident, my sisters. I love you all, and we are going to start winning on this journey together. God bless you. Please stay on. We're going to listen to another. The first one. I am going to turn off this camera now. Have a great evening and a great week. And you are all in my hearts and release with each other. God bless. Be playing another song shortly as we win this journey together. You will win. You will win. By Jekalyn Carr. You will win. Just hold on. We're, of course, having other technical difficulties, sisters. I hope you're still listening. Be blessed and have a spirit of winning. Have a great night.
Against your home. The enemy came up against your children. The enemy came up against your name. The enemy came up against your character. You will win. Win. You will win. The enemy came up against your health. The enemy came up against your finances. The enemy came up against your vision. The enemy came up against your business. You will win. Oh, you will win. Yes, you will.